There was some user on breach forums not too long ago who was posting tons and tons and tons of what people thought originally were fresh leaks. I talked about this in some episode of Leaky Weekly a while ago, and it turns out they weren't. They were, the person, the individual behind the account came out and was like, no, I'm just reposting stuff I found perusing through ransom leaks from, it was one particular group.
Nameless?
Yes, nameless. And they were just pulling from old leaks, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, it's back!" Whatever the vulnerability is, or some other group, or this person's producing novel data, and they weren't. They were looking through the files that someone had made easier to download, and that gets less love than like talking about the victims or victimology. What actually matters, if you're the company, is what's in that data that got released. And sometimes it feels like no one's really looking in there, but Nameless kind of proved that people are. And when they do look, they find really interesting things. So while there's not a lot of people who are doing Nameless style publications, I think your point is really good that you can safely assume there are people, more sophisticated threat actors quietly perusing through all of that data to see what interesting things they can take from it, lost in a sea of, maybe hundreds of millions of files nested so deep in zips that very few people will get there. But you're right. It is safe to assume that someone will. Even if you can't get it from the public, torrent, it's safe to assume someone will look at this data. So you should see what you lost, basically.